Hi, it's Art, short for Artemy, and you can find me at CU Artist pretty much everywhere. I wanted to talk about something that I think is kind of useful. It's more keeping track of timing things, but on a larger scale than Toggle Track usually will. Since I have been working on this comic for so long, there's so much time that I don't really know how long it took to do things. But I do think it is really interesting to have, at least some dates of big moments in the comic. So I have, currently it's in Google Drive. I do think I want to move it to Notion. But I am creating a sort of timeline of comic process steps over a larger scale. I believe I originally wanted to start doing this to get an idea of how frequently I was just checking up on my outline, but I do think it is pretty helpful just to have, and I also think it is, I think it's neat. So I have just kind of tried to piece together as much as I can of the creation of this comic and write the dates or the estimated dates for those things to kind of get an idea of how regularly I'm doing something or how long something has taken. I have also ended up putting in a lighter gray text other things that have been going on in my life, so I just have an idea of if there's a big gap in something, what has been going on there. So it has been kind of fun to just try and piece together things based on photos that I have, and sometimes going through ancient text messages with my partner usually. And there's definitely a lot that just will not be able to be kind of pieced back together, but I am trying to kind of keep it updated as I go now. So the earliest point I have on this list is November 25th of 2011. I messaged my partner that I had redrawn the seasons and decided to make it a comic and had some semblance of a plot. I don't know when I wrote the original descriptions of the characters because it was on a family computer before then, so eons ago. And I also don't remember drawing them before this, so I truly have no idea what I was talking about. I started actually outlining in March of 2015 and did some more world building of January 2016. As I am digging through my documents and stuff to find things to put in here, I end up kind of making note of the date and putting it in this timeline. March of 2016 is when I first started my script, I believe, and by November of 2017 is when I had the third draft of the script done and saved as a PDF. I think that is the final finished script draft that I had, because then on November 7th, after 3 days, I started the thumbnails on index cards. What I find is pretty interesting is it looks like it is typically in January that I do end up kind of overhauling my outlines. In January of 2021, I started doing the sticky notes and putting them on my door, and then was retyping it into Google Drive, January of 2022. So I just think that is funny. I think it's like a new year, I'm trying to revamp things. I definitely have not kept it up in the past couple months. I really ought to, so I will probably be doing that in a little bit. I'm going to be putting things like I was working on the coming out comic that I was working on. I've had some commissions that definitely take some time away, and also this challenge will definitely need to be input on here. I also have things like when I got a new tablet, just so that kind of gives me an idea of why a process started taking longer, because I had to figure it all out again. But there's also things like I was working on the skeleton pants, and then the sweater, and that took a week. And then I could get back into doing the comic. I just think it is good to have that information on a larger scale, and I definitely wish I had had more dates written down for the earlier aspects of the comic. So, that is all I have for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you tomorrow.